right. So we should.
Are you going to demonstrate that little purse?
Yep.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about it. Okay.
Okay, where'd you get the fabric?
What fabric?
The fabric for the little purse.
I don't have the fabric out.
We're just gonna show the
No reason to have the fabric
this
out.
thing.
Hey everybody. The fabric's in the stock room if you want the fabric. The fabric's in the stock room if you want the fabric. Hey everybody.
Hello.
It's Barbara,
Hello.
Sally, and Laura, and we're here at El Cajon Sew and Back, and it's Rambling Thursday. We have a few things to show you, real quick.
Yeah.
We're gonna shramble, short ramble, shramble,
We're gonna shramble today.
shramble today. So I'm gonna zoom in on Laura here.
Oh,
I think.
thanks a lot.
You want me to come in from the back? This side?
Okay.
Here we go.
That's
So
good.
first thing we're gonna talk about is Sunday's Pfaff Club.
Yeah, on Sunday we're going to be making this wide open tube frame pouch. And look at how cute this is. And it opens up flat. You can put all your stuff in there. I mean, it's really cool.
It makes a really satisfying sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, put
It
your
does.
finger in there and let me see if it works.
No, here, I'll close this one. You let me know. So this is the frame, and it comes with the pattern. So you get the frame, you get all the instructions. All you have to add is fabric, and
And I'm gonna show you how to make it.
it closes like that. And then you
Yeah,
open
it's
it
kind of
up.
scary because it does want to close pretty.
Pretty
It's
fast.
loosened up. When I closed that the first time, it really snapped.
Yeah, I'm closing it slow on purpose because I don't want to snap my fingers. But I think it's a really nice project.
It is a really nice project, and I was really happy that it wasn't something that took me 100 years to make the first one on.
Yeah.
It's not perfect. I mean, I did get a little bit of bubbles on the casing there, but you know, yeah,
That's okay.
That's a design
it's a
element.
design.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did it deliberately
Yeah.
because you're going around. I'll zoom in a little
Curves.
bit.
Okay.
You have to go around curves there.
Yeah.
So you see, have to go around the curves. And the only other thing too is you could, if you wanted to, quilt that fabric.
quilt
The
these
outer
two?
bag fabric.
Oh yeah, I feel the lining in there. The batting.
It's got
or-
batting. It's got fusible fleece in there. So
Okay.
you could quilt it.
I don't think it needs it.
It
though.
doesn't need it.
No.
I was really happy with. Frankly, what I was doing was trying to use scraps, so I was trying to find a piece that was big enough to fit the pattern, and that's how I decided on that piece of fabric.
So, is it about the size of a fat quarter?
Yeah, you just need 2 fat quarters, one for the lining and one for the outside.
And then
And that, well, you
That's
would
bias.
typically have used. No, that's not unbiased.
Oh,
just
it's not unbiased? Oh.
So you would have used the lining for that.
okay.
Except that because I was using a scrap and not a fat quarter, I didn't have a long enough piece to use.
Well, I kind of like the contrasting.
So I had used a different
Yeah,
piece of fabric for
yeah.
that, but yeah, it turned out cool.
Now, I have a
That's-
question you
it's
might
nice.
not be able to answer. On the inside, instead of fabric for that, could you use vinyl so you can make that into a makeup bag?
We'll make a bag anyway.
Probably. I mean, I
Well,
don't.
yeah, but it's liable
There
to
would
get
be no.
all
There would be
dirty.
no reason that you couldn't use vinyl.
Yeah.
It's just
Well, if you wanted to use fabric, just get some Odie coat and paint the
paint the
fabric
fabric,
with Odie coat.
yeah.
That
Yeah.
makes it waterproof.
Odie coat is. We have some of it here at the store. You just paint it and it
Yeah,
makes
I
it
have some at
waterproof.
home somewhere.
But there's
Yeah.
no reason. You don't sew around it with that tube in there.
Yeah, I know.
There's no sewing. So there would be no reason why you wouldn't be able to make it with a little stiffer fabric. I don't think it would just be a question of if you could turn it when you once you've sewn it together and turn it, cause you have to turn it.
Turn it, yeah.
I think that's
Um,
why I'd use the Odie coat.
Yeah. It's easier, makes your life
But,
easier.
Yeah,
you certainly could try it, I don't see any reason why not, but
yeah. That's a really cute
you can
bag.
make it
turned
out of whatever
nice.
you want to make it out of, but it did turn out really cute in that particular fabric, I thought.
I think so too. I think it's super cute. You got the green on the inside, which matches the green that's over here.
I was planning on using the green for the
For this.
that, but I just didn't have
No, that goes
14. I
better.
needed
I like
I
it
needed
like this.
14 inches and I did not have 14 and a half inches, so there you went. That went very quickly.
Okay.
And then I had to have Jimmy help me with putting the joint together because I couldn't quite put the joint together. Right, honey?
That's correct.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
So next on our agenda, we want to talk about, and you may want to zoom out a little bit. Ugh.
De-zoom, honey.
I am de-zooming.
So we have some new wool pressing mats in. And if you've never used a wool pressing mat before, they're really nice. You can see in this picture here, they're nice and thick. And they get warm with what you're ironing, so it's almost like ironing from both sides. They,
And these are from GE Designs, which is the Stripology people. So
right,
Gudrun from GE Designs designed how this one is
okay,
put together.
okay.
So it's different.
And it looks like it has a solid base on it.
It has a we can take the little one out so we can see it.
Okay.
It has a you wanna
I'm gonna
hand that
it.
and I can take it out for you
Okay.
since you're weak. Oops. Well, that was brilliant.
Let me see, I think
That was a brilliant thing to do, Sally. Throwing things on the floor. Okay. So it comes with a plastic,
Moisture barrier. Isn't it a moisture barrier?
yeah, it's like a,
It's sticking to the bag.
Is it so if you have to put it on the table, it'll protect the table?
it protects whatever surface it's on. You leave it, you don't take it out of there. It's designed to be in the,
Yeah. It's like a tray.
Tray, that's the
There
word
we
I was
go.
looking for.
Okay,
Chemo brain.
so here's the tray that we're talking about, a rubber tray
With 4 little sticks
that you
that you
pop the
pop
mat
the
on.
mat on.
So the mat's not gonna
Nice and
slip around.
thick.
It is nice and thick. You can see it's a nice thick mat.
This,
And I like that rubber thing because it keeps the wool mat from
Slipping.
shifting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it's slide, the steam will get caught in the, silicone mat. Now you still probably don't want to necessarily put it on a nice wooden surface because if you get it too hot, it's still, the silicone's still probably gonna get hot on the bottom.
Yeah.
So it will
And-
protect your surface though, better than just putting a wool mat on your surface.
And you know, I've used my wool mat for pressing embroideries. It
Mhm.
works really nice
Yes.
because you know how sometimes you create an embroidery and it has little puckers around. You press it on the wool mat and those puckers just aren't there.
I press all my blocks on it. It comes out very nice.
Yeah, it makes
You
nice,
don't have to keep
nice
pressing.
flat seams, and you can use the steam of your iron. Now, I have noticed on the wool mat I have, now I don't have the GE design wool mat, I may have to fix that. But on the wool mat that I have, because I've used steam a lot, it does begin to have an odor of sheep. You know, it starts to smell a little bit. But
Let
you
me
just,
know when
you
it
just
goes by.
no, it hasn't done that yet. But I don't think this one will. I don't
It's
know.
a really nice,
It
I really
feels
like
nice.
it. It
Yeah.
feels nice. It's
Wool normally makes
it's-
me itch, but this is nice and soft.
it's nice and flexible. It's nice and dense, and
I like the tray.
what does it say about why it works?
Why it works. Wool retains heat, so your seams are flatter, effectively pressing from both sides at once. The wool also cushions the seams, creating a fresh, crisp look. For best results, use low to medium steam settings for maximum results. Excess steam creates condensation, which is absorbed and retained by the mat. Lift the wool mat occasionally to wipe away any condensation underneath. Flip the mat over occasionally to allow it to dry evenly. This is our exclusive silicone base, is designed to catch and retain condensation, prevents slipping while pressing, and protects the underlying work surface. Use on top of a cutting mat is not recommended as it causes the mat to warp.
Yeah.
So see,
So
the
the
heat
heat
will
does-
go
The
through,
heat will go through.
so you
Yeah.
don't,
But
and,
I
so,
don't
and you
use
wouldn't
it that
want to
much.
use it, on your expensive wooden table either, probably.
No.
Right.
But a lot of people do. You see pictures on YouTube and stuff of people using their wool mat straight on a wooden table. It's not a good plan.
No.
So we're going to show you the Aliso mats. They
I'll
make
let
a
you
wool
put this back in the
mat.
bag. I had a hard time getting it out. If you want to pass me
Oh,
that.
and this is.
It's really
good,
nice
it's
and
quarter-inch
flexible.
silicone too, so
Well, that's
That's
when you
good.
lift it up, the frame, it has a recess that the mat sits in.
yeah.
So yeah, it's nice. Okay. Okay, so this is the Aliso wool pressing mat, and you can see it's got little holes in the corners for these guys. What are those, you ask? Well, those are connectors. So you can literally take this connector, which you can see in this picture here. It's just a little connector, that's these orange things. So it's flat like this, and then it's got two posts that go through the holes. You would put two mats side by side and put the connector between the two mats, and now you have one larger mat. But they're good. Now let me
And how many come in a package?
Just one in a package.
well, there's
okay.
one mat and there's 4 connectors.
Yeah. And this is a little bit. No, it's about the same
About the same
density as that one.
yeah, same thickness. But if you don't have a wool pressing mat, I would think it's a good idea to get. You'll get
They're
better-
really nice. I
They
mean, I
really
use
are.
Yeah,
them.
because the piecing goes much faster.
Well, and I have a wool mat on the ironing board.
Yeah,
In there, it's underneath. It's covered with a white muslin to protect it from errant people using the ironing board. I didn't want to just put the wool mat on the ironing board
right.
unprotected, so it's covered with a with muslin. So, but it still has the properties of a wool mat.
Right.
It's just covered with
Yeah.
muslin.
Which is smart
Which-
because you can always take the muslin off, wash it.
Yeah, and that's
Put
in
it
case
back.
somebody
Right.
does
Because if people
fusing,
do,
anything fusible.
Oh, yeah, you don't
You
want
I've
don't
that
want it
on
on
replaced,
your
there.
wool
I've
mat.
replaced,
Right.
I've thrown the muslin away multiple
times.
times
Yeah.
Yeah.
because of the fact that it has gotten ruined, the muslin, but the wool mat underneath is
Right.
not.
And Barbara's point about putting a protective coating over the wool mat to protect it from adhesives is a good one.
Right,
Yeah.
that's true. That is also true.
Yeah.
You
that's a
you
good
probably don't want to spray right on top of your wool mat. How come that doesn't want to flatten out? It will eventually, I guess.
Well, it's sticking
Really,
to the
It's
plastic.
just being very obstinate.
Yeah.
There's a lot of is it dry or something? It doesn't feel
No, I just think the
dry.
silicone.
No,
But
it's
it's
because
got
the
a lot
silicone
of
is sticking
static
to it.
electricity.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But I will say Strapology they are really creative, have great ideas, and they're very particular about making sure that their products are made correctly and
Well,
done well.
I have found that their products are very high quality. You know, I think they're reasonably priced,
Right,
and the quality is really high.
especially for the amount of thought that's gone in them too.
Yeah.
Okay, once you take this out of the bag, I'd leave it out of the bag.
Barbara is not recommending putting it back in the bag.
Well, it was hard to get out of the bag because the silicone sticks to the plastic.
Yeah.
And then it was hard to get back in the bag because the
silicone
silicone
sticks
sticks
to
to
the
the plastic.
Oh,
Yeah.
anyway. So,
But once you get it out, just put it on your ironing
but I
board and
would
just leave
really
it there.
recommend, having a wool mat to press on. 'Cause I think if you'll be really happy with your seams, having a wool mat.
Well, like even the ham that I use, like to press
Uh-huh.
collars and, you know, shoulder seams
Yeah.
and stuff like that, it's wool. It's got a wool
Yeah.
covering on it. So, I don't think the whole thing is wool. Because I think it's filled with something else, but it's got a
Well,
wool
there's a
cover.
long one out that's in a piece of wood, but that's wool.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, we
Yeah.
sold that. I didn't get another one yet. But anyway, so,
And that's good if you're gonna press seams open,
Right,
very good for that.
right.
so, it's definitely something that's worth taking a look at if you haven't looked at these types of things before.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different pressing aids and pressing your seams, whether
It
you're
makes all the
sewing
difference in the world.
whether you're sewing garments or making quilts, pressing things is really an important thing to do. You'll be very successful at whatever you're doing if you do choose to press. So it really is a quite helpful thing if you press.
Mm-hmm. Well, and if you press your seams well, whether you press them to one side or you press them open, if they're flat, then things just go together so much better. I've seen things that have come in where they just kind of give it a quick press and maybe the fabric overlaps itself on the seam and they go, oh yeah, that's fine, and they keep sewing. No, that's not fine. You want a flat seam. So, and instead of, with the wool mats, instead of having to turn it over to press both sides, you can just lightly steam it on the wool mat and you're gonna get both sides because it's gonna radiate that heat right back.
And they last a long time. I think I've had mine.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
yeah,
do
mine
last a
for
really
years.
long time.
Yeah.
And the other thing too is you want to be careful that you don't stretch your fabric.
Right?
Pressing and ironing are two different things, and you want to make sure that you're not, especially if you've got any kind of bias, you don't want to stretch your fabric. Now, I've had shirts that were too small, kind of small, or they kind of shrank a little in the wash, and I needed them to be a little larger in the arm's eye, or a little larger around the bust, or such things. You can actually kind of stretch that out with your iron and steam by pulling.
Yeah.
So, but you don't want to do that if you're quilting,
No.
or because you don't want to stretch things out. So
Right?
it's, it's important to understand that if things are hot, if the fabric's hot and you're pulling on it, that fabric can stretch.
Right.
And it can stay stretched.
Well, and
It may not
even if,
unstretch when you let go of it and it cools off.
well, and even if you think, oh, I'm not stretching anything, I'm just ironing,
But
that
you are
motion of
just-
moving
yes.
the iron can distort your fabric. So if you're putting an adhesive on or turning your seams to one
Or
side
even
or
spray
opening them flat,
starching.
or spray
and it's
starching,
damp.
Yeah.
you want to take your iron, set it down, leave it for a few seconds, pick it up, move it to someplace else, leave it for a few seconds. That's pressing. This is ironing, where you're moving it back and forth.
Yeah.
And that can distort your fabric. And yes, I did check to make sure that was off before I did that. I didn't want to melt the plastic.
Or burn your fingers because you thought it
And
was off.
it would not be the first time when one of the three of us would have done something like that.
Yeah,
Because
true.
we're really good.
We test
At
things
doing
out,
these
so we
things.
know.
We're super good at it.
We test all the pitfalls so you don't
Yeah.
have to.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
my story. I'm sticking to it.
Yeah. We like to we like to do things first so we can tell you no, don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't try that. Don't try this at home.
Yeah.
Anyway. Well, next week we may or may not talk about gathering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't mean like gathering together. I mean like making little
You mean we're not
roughly
gathering
things.
Gathering
party?
fabric.
Oh, we
No.
could have a party.
We could have a
Gather.
party.
Yeah, we
for a
could
party.
gather for a party.
Yeah. I like
It'll
that
be
idea.
May. It won't be April anymore.
Will it be May 5th? It'll be May. Isn't that May Day?
Yeah, I
Okay.
guess it is May
No,
Day.
May 1st is May Day. May 5th is Cinco de Mayo.
Okay. Okay. Well, we can have a party
We
anyway.
can have margaritas.
Okay.
There's no
Margaret bringing
alcohol, you know.
margaritas. You heard it here.
I do
None of
have
us
some at
need
home.
alcohol.
Just need to get some ice.
Oh.
All right. Well, thank you guys for putting up with us and taking the time to watch us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you want us to talk about something interesting or not interesting, whatever the case may be, please put it in the comments and we'll be glad to look into it, do some research on it, and let you know the answer. So,
Yeah.
all right, we'll see you next week. Take care. Have a great week.
Bye.
Bye.